going to grow. Because if we are growing at 8%, there will be opportunities. If we grow at 10%, there will be more opportunities. If we grow across the board, there will be even more opportunities. And therefore, as far as opportunities are concerned, I don't see any reason why anyone should despair. And your own record will show that those who have preceded you here have done well. I was making inquiries and I was told that everyone has been placed somewhere else. Nobody has been left out from the job market. So the opportunities will be immense in future. The challenge is whether you will measure up to those opportunities. And that is where I'm sure the institution here will prepare you for. Now I come to the challenges. The first challenge is the challenge of technology. Because technology is advancing so fast that each one of us are becoming obsolete every day. On a daily basis, we are being left behind. When I started my career in the civil service, I remember the only aids that we had, the instruments that we had, was famously a typewriter and a telephone. That was all that we had. And as far as the typewriter was concerned, it was a manual typewriter. And as far as the telephone was concerned, you had to ring up the exchange to get even a local connection. I mean, to the young people of today, it is absolutely unimaginable that there were no cell phones, there were no computers, there was no internet, there was no email, there was nothing. Today we are lucky that we have all this at our doorstep. All that you have to do is to punch a few keys on your computer, go into Google search and get any information that you want. It was difficult in those days to get all that information. But still we managed. Still those people, our forebears, used to write on leaves, they also managed. Can you imagine a world 20 years from now, 30 years from now, where you will not have all these power plants, you will not have all this pollution, you will not even have the oil refinery next door causing pollution here in this campus. You will have an automobile which will run on hydrogen. You will have a small little packet which you will install in your house, and it will produce atomic energy. So you will not need all these huge transmission lines, and there will be no theft of electricity through those lines. How will it change the world? The point I'm making is, we can't even imagine today where technology is going to take us in the future. But we'll have to cope with it as we come across it, where technology is going to take us in the future. But we'll have to cope with it as we come across it. My 10-year-old grandson today knows more about the computer and the internet than I do. Don't allow allow yourself, like I unfortunately did, to become obsolete. Keep in touch, keep updated, go on learning, because life after all is a learning experience throughout, as I learned today. And keep up with technology, the innovation, and you become the innovator yourself. So that is the first channel, to keep up with technology. Then governance is a channel. I mean, you are a manager, but somebody else is in governance. And much of your life will be impacted upon by the quality of governance in the environment in which you live. If governance will be good, you will be able to pursue your career in a far better fashion than otherwise. If governance is bad, then you will encounter more difficulties. And governance, I am putting in this word a lot of holistic meaning. It is not merely administration. Governance is more than administration. And therefore, the entire milieu of governance is what is going to impact on you. How will you impact on governance remains to be seen, but governance, the quality of governance, is going to impact on your future in a big way. Then, in today's globalized world, we are not impervious to global influences. No nation is an island today unto itself. The global influences could be benign, the global influences could be malign. It will depend on our genius to ensure that we embrace those global influences which are benign and reject those which are malign, which are bad. If we are integrating our economies, the terrorists are also integrating the world in their own fashion. And that perhaps is the most poignant example of benign and malign globalization. I have already talked about specialization, which is both a challenge as well as an opportunity. And then, in the real world, you will be pursuing your own goals. You would like to advance in your career. There will be lateral shifts, there will be shifts after promotion. I just learned from the introduction of Shyam Srinivasan that he used to work in multinational banks and now he's come back to head the federal bank. So you will pursue your personal goals. That's a given. And the challenge before you will be, how do you synthesize it with the corporate goals where you're working and with the overall goals of public interest, which must continue to guide all that you do. And finally, to the young students, I'd like to give you a mantra which I give to all young people that I meet wherever. And that mantra is encapsulated in 5 letters. And those 5 letters are EECCC. Now, to see, to define what I mean, the first E stands for excellence. We have been talking about excellence here. You must excel in whatever you are doing. Excellence is a goal that you must pursue. Excellence is a quality that must inform all your actions. I remember many years ago when I was lucky enough to get through the competitive examination into the Indian Administrative Service. A fellow student who was a close friend, he was a little distraught. He said, "You've done so well in life." He'd gone back to become a teacher in his village school. And he said, "Look where I am. I'm only a teacher in my village school." And I told him, let's look at it in the long term. If 20 years from now we meet at the same place in the Three Idiots style, and I am a failed administrator, and you are a very successful teacher, and you have received the President's Award for excellence in teaching, how would you look at your career and how would you look at my career? The important thing is not what you are doing. The important thing is how excellently you are doing whatever you are doing. So excellence is the first thing. But without the next E is ethics. Because without ethics, excellence is like an athlete's body without a soul. You have a beautiful body, but there is no soul. So excellence must be joined, tempered, influenced by ethics in all that you do. So the two E's stand for excellence and ethics. Then about the three C's. The first C stands for commitment. You must have a commitment in life. You will have shorter term commitments, you will have longer term commitments. And it is that commitment which is going to propel you in a forward direction. If you have no commitment, then all your excellence will be of no avail. So commitment. But the second C, which stands for courage, is also very important, because you cannot be committed without courage. And let me again tell you an incident from my own life. When I joined the IAS and we assembled in the training school, we thought we had climbed Mount Everest, that there were no further peaks to climb. And it was in this state of mind that we were brought to Delhi from Mussoorie into the presence of the then Prime Minister, Mr. Nehru. And Nehru started talking to us. And he said, most of you will be toppers in your batches. You would have done excellently in your studies, and that's how you passed this difficult examination. You might be thinking that you are the best in the world. But I am sorry to tell you, you are only the second best. And we were all taken aback. Who is better than us? Nehru went on to say that if you don't have a sense of adventure as a youth, then you can never be number one. You can only be a number two. You will never be a first rater. You will only be a second rater because you don't have a sense of adventure. It is courage which will encourage you towards a sense of adventure and which will really make you a first rater. And the third C, the final C, stands for compassion. Because if you have all these qualities and you don't have a compassion, then there is hardly any difference between a human being and an animal. It is compassion which in most cases distinguishes us from the animal. So compassion is something which must be with us all the time. Look at every situation, every individual with compassion. And if we are able to combine all these qualities, we'll be good human beings, we'll be good heads of families, we'll be good managers, we'll be good citizens. As I stood here today and lighted the lamps of various students, and they all came here, made this beautiful arrangement, I was thinking how